My name is Brooke Kaveney and I'm a Postdoctoral Research Fellow here at Charles Sturt University. So I have a research-focused role and I spend all of my time working on a project that is investigating international agricultural research. And I'm based in southern Vietnam. So I work with farmers affected by climate change, and we're looking at ways that we can grow alternative crops and implement different soil methods, management methods, to help these farmers grow crops that are saline tolerant and drought tolerant in the dry season period, to give them something other than rice that will be productive. The benefit of working in international agricultural research is that every day varies, every day is different. I work with colleagues based in Vietnam, I work with colleagues all over Australia, and that might mean I'm on conference calls, video calls, meetings. I might be in the lab doing research, I might be in the field doing research, I might be in Vietnam doing research or visiting farmers or field trials in Vietnam. So every day it doesn't look the same, it's different, it's varied, and you get a range of both office, laboratory, field trials, greenhouse trials. The whole gamut of research can be covered off in one day, and it keeps it interesting. So we try to go to Vietnam a few times a year, and those trips last up to a few weeks at a time. We travel around, but mostly focus in the Mekong Delta, which is where our research is. We visit farmers, we visit our colleagues at Kento University, we visit research institutions and collaborate, form ideas, come up with ideas for the dry season, experimental plans, discuss results from last experiments, how things worked, what didn't work, what can we change. Are the farmers happy with what we're doing? What do the farmers think we should be doing? How can we help them? All those sorts of things. You cram into a trip and you get to meet new people, work with new people, develop these great relationships that cross not only, borders but countries, and that's just a fantastic opportunity. So the most rewarding aspects I find, personally, it's the satisfaction of identifying a problem and coming up with a solution, and that could be through experimental works, through talking to people, reading literature, combining all of that together and finding a solution. But the second part is that impact of that solution, and the impact is usually farmers and farmer livelihoods and the communities that they exist in. So having that solution through to impact pathway is really important and satisfying to see how that affects people's day-to-day lives. Creativity plays a big part in being a researcher and a scientist. You need to have the ability to think outside the box. It's a solutions-based field, so there is an issue and you at the end of the day need to find a solution to that issue, and that often means thinking of things that aren't normal, aren't typically done. It has to be novel, or it might be new for that area. In Vietnam, we're growing crops that have never been grown in that area, so you need to be creative in what you come up with. The management techniques have never been done. They've only grown rice before. So we're looking at ways to grow crops that don't require lots of water, that don't require lots of time to be put into them. And you need to think outside the square, be creative, be innovative. The personal attributes as a scientist, I think, are really important if you like to ask questions and you like to find answers. And that doesn't necessarily need to be about a particular topic. It could be, in general, I wonder how that works. I wonder what happens if I do this. I find I do that a lot and I need to find the answer. And so I'll read something about the answer, or if I can't find the answer in the literature or by asking people, I do an experiment to find out. So that wanting to understand how the world works in one way or another is a big attribute for being a scientist. So I started as an agricultural science student at Charles Sturt University, and I thought I was going to be an agronomist the entire way through my degree until I got to third year and I did a short stint of work experience, and I thought, this is just not for me. And I was fortunate enough to be offered an honours position studying in Vietnam. The research was about rice, and at that time, I didn't know anything about rice, but I thought, what a great opportunity, I'll see what it brings for me. I went and did, I almost stayed a year in Vietnam and absolutely loved it. I loved the culture, but I also loved the research and the process behind finding something out. So I finished my honours year, and then I came back to CSU and commenced a PhD in soil microbiology. After completing that, I then went on to a postdoctoral role working back in Vietnam. So it's been a very cyclic process, and the friends and colleagues I built during my honours year, I now work with professionally, and that's really satisfying and also a great accomplishment that I can work alongside people I was students with. So those qualifications have enabled me to become the researcher that I am today. I grew up on our family farm just northwest of Young, and it's a mixed farm. We grow wheat and canola and sheep and lucerne, so still actively involved with the farm, love to go back and help at harvest and drive trucks and headers and things. I like to be involved with the decision-making processes that go into planning of the farm, but also keeping in contact with the day-to-day happenings of agriculture in New South Wales helps me be a better researcher. So technology will continue to have a bigger impact in agriculture as a whole. AI and automation are big steps of where things are moving. Processes will get more efficient. The ability to reduce labour and increase efficiencies will become, I think, a greater focus point. But we still need the research that goes into those processes, and it's really important to have people on the ground understanding the best ways to make farming efficient, agricultural efficiencies with the use of technologies that arise. I think you should never focus on an area and think that that's where your career is going to be. You should always be open to the opportunities that might seem a little unorthodox. For me, if I had said 10 years ago that I was going to be a soil researcher working in Vietnam, I would have never thought that was possible or even a thing that existed. It was through opportunities and mentoring through the right people who want to help me become a better researcher has led me to where I am. And if I had been fixated on a pathway from the beginning, I would have not had those opportunities or seen those opportunities as potential. So keep your eyes open, find something you love and follow it. It doesn't need to be a career. There will always be something that comes from it if you're passionate and want it enough.